Hi guys, we're back on our Healey rear fender or rear guard. We're probably going to keep this a little bit short simply because today is Saturday and I worked all day and I'm a bit tired. But I want to show you, before we start on the healing guard, I want to show you what I've been working on today. All right. Front of a Jag bonnet. I'll show you the mess of the bonnet that I'm working on. Just follow me. Now, that one there. Here we go. This is the bonnet in question. I get the cameraman to go close and have a look at the mess. It's a real mess. It's just too high, too thin. They sand the metal out, it's full of holes. It's got a damage here, damage right through here. So, and it's, as you can see, it's fairly high through here from being punched in. But we'll fix all that and then we put the new front. Now, the reason why I'm showing on this, because I haven't got any bonnets to take patterns off, but I thought I use this bonnet, which is the one of the Jag that we're finishing off now. So this is the bonnet that we're taking the patterns off, and that's the reason why I started today, because next week this will be gone. So what you can see there is just the start, the very start. And I'll explain to you what I did here. I've marked the edge that goes under, and it's a little bit like the Ferrari panel really. And I marked where most of the shape is for the mouth and blend it in. But as I said before, it's a long way to go yet. It's a long way to go. But you can see that with a little bit of persuasion, I'm gonna get there somehow. So that's what I've been working on today, and that's the reason why I probably keep the Riley guard a little bit shorter than usual. Okay, back on the guard now, and what we're going to do today, I'm going to explain a few things on this panel. I'm gonna take the back half off, and then we're going to work on this. So let's start doing something. I'll put this away. Let me explain a couple of very important things when you're doing a return like this, because you can get into trouble. The first thing you must do when you got the pattern is decide a width here. See this line here? This coincide with the guard underneath, and I'll just lift it and show you. That line there is this edge here. So we need to have that somewhere near it, okay? Within a couple of mils, but as you can see, I've got plenty of metal. Well, that will stop the panel doing either this or that, which then, in turn, will affect this. So you can see that if I move it out of where it shouldn't be, you can see that it tells you that there's something wrong, but it's not. It's just a way that you put it on the car. The next thing, or the next step in this is I will suggest you make the return about 70%, and then make sure that you're somewhere near it that way as well. Because if you move the reverse forward or back, again, that's going to interfere with your bulbous shape. So as you can see, if I put it there and I very lightly lift this, you can see that I'm somewhere near it. See that? Right. The next thing to remember is, if you look through the panel, or if you've got a buck or whatever you're using, and that return is not quite sitting where it should be, keep in mind that it could be because this area here is not sitting down enough. So in other words, you could have the return very well done or close enough, but this part here still down, so they won't allow the return to sit in. So that's another trap you've got to look for. So you'll have to make sure that you work on this area. So again, when this area is right, it will drop in and come right. So a couple of traps. The first one, make sure you've got enough metal and you can put it in the same spot by just literally put your fingers like that. Second one, make the return and get it somewhere near it. In other words, don't have the return there or have the return there, because as you can see, it doesn't work. So have it somewhere near it. It can always be adjusted because the length of the guard that you're making. And thirdly, make sure that this area here, this bulbous shape, is deep enough so that it allows the return down. I hope I'm clear on that. But as you can see, I get the cameraman to come down and have a look. I've got where it should be as far as the length goes. Keep in mind that the weld is back here. I'm sorry, yeah, back here. And I've got two little lines there, right there. Now, at this point, if I put a clamp on that, see there's another line there, and there's another one down here. So at this point, you should be somewhere close to the return here, and at the same token, somewhere right there. That's how you work on it. So now, I need to do a little bit more blocking in here, just a little bit, because I can see that that's not round enough, and that possibly will stop me from coming down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to smooth that off a little bit on the block with the blocking hammer right there. Then I'm going to literally open it and start wheeling it. But as you can see here, there's not that much to do. You can't twist it, you can't do anything real bad, because the guard, as the last guard, sits there pretty good. So obviously, yes, there's a bit of adjustment to do, but we 95% there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I do here, and then I'm going to open it and I'm going to smooth it off. So now we're going to smooth this part up right there, but the best bet is to open it a little bit, because otherwise it will just keep closing, and that's not what you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it a touch, just exactly like I did the other one. See, I'm going to open it, and of course when I block it there again, it's going to close. So here we go. Check it, look at it, and it needs a little bit more through here. So okay, now I'm going to put my gauge on and have a look at it. Okay, I've got my gauge here, 4A, and the same thing applies as like the rear of the guard. I've got a given line here, which I forgot to mention, by the way. I put a line there. It will go deeper, which means that the line possibly come to here. But for the time being, all we want to do is to see where we're going before we're wheeling. So I'm going to put that there. Okay, going by this, as you can see, it needs more blocking here. I'll show you it again. Right there. Okay. Now we also want to check the reverse, because I have been doing some planishing just there and stretching the edge. And I just want to see where I'm at. I haven't checked it, so I'll check it. Well, it is close, real close. I think by the time we wheel that, it'll be okay. Now, this has been done with the blocking hammer. As you can see, it's all been blocked. Okay, all through here. But it can be done with a wheel. And I've got a sample here that I'd like to show you. It's not a whole lot, obviously. But I use that sample to show you another trap. Okay, this is the sample that has not been blocked. It's only been wheeled. No block marks there. It's only been wheeled. So, I use this to show you, as I said, another trap that you must be aware of. If I put the reverse like that, you can clearly see that up here, it's not straight. Can you see that? But as I'm turning it, it diminishes somewhat. You can see it diminishing. I get the cameraman to follow that shape, and up here, we're almost straight. And then of course, down here, we are dead straight. So now I'm going to use this to show you exactly what I mean. What I wanted to show you is on this mudguard here. You see here, it's straight. See that? Here, after the reverse, it becomes straight. So that's a good indication. You can use that on your guide as well. But as I mentioned, this was only wheeled up, no blocking. So it's up to individual if you want to block it first and then wheel it, or you can wheel it. Having said that, I honestly think that by blocking it is a lot quicker. You block the shape like I did on the guard down there, and you just wheel it up, because once you've got it, once it's shaped up and it's blocked, all you gotta do is just very lightly wheel it and job's done. If you're trying to do too much with the wheel, you might pull too much here, you might not pull enough there, and you're fighting the reverse all the time. So yes, it can be done with the wheel, but I think it's a lot quicker and a lot more manageable if you shape it up with the blocking hammer first. Okay, we're back on the guard now, and as you can see here, again, whether it's here or there, that needs some shape there. So I'm going to put that shape now. Let's have a look. There we go. That's good enough. Now I'll check the reverse again, and if that's okay, we're going to open it up and wheel it. Yeah, I reckon I can do something with that. I'm going to go on the ground now, mark the radius like we did on the last one, open it up and wheel it. So, I think that the radius, well, that's the middle, but the radius itself, it's about there. We know that that's the middle somewhere, and we know that that's roughly where we need to wheel. Then we got, of course, our reverse, but that's totally different. So I'm going to open it up now and wheel it. Okay, I will open it up. Just very slowly. We need to put, as I mentioned before, we need to put the straightest wheel possible there. Be careful you don't kick the reverse. You just want enough room to be able to do your bulbous. So there you can see now it's fairly open. I'm going to literally just wheel it and smooth it off. As I always do, I will check the best wheel adaptable for that shape. If it's too flat, as I mentioned before, you end up flattening it all out, possibly go into the return and put marks on it. So I think that this wheel here will do just nicely, and if it does open it up a little bit, I can always close it. So this is the wheel I'm going to use. I'll change the wheel. I put my panel in there, I'll give it a bit of a clean. Make sure there's no foreign dirt. And here we go. Same thing with the last one, no pressure. Especially on this one. Especially on this fella. So, now we've got to find a way to be able to wheel the bulbous with little pressure, because as we come into the reverse, if we got too much pressure, we're going to stretch the reverse and possibly stretch it too much. So I just got too much. I just got a little bit of pressure there, and I'm going to literally wheel that. Now, as you can see, because it's been blocked, have a look. Because it's been blocked, there's no pressure there, because I stressed the point. If you put too much pressure there and you happen to go into the reverse too quickly, you're going to either stretch or mark the reverse. So you want to concentrate on that a little bit first. Get it somewhere close. I will increase the pressure here a little bit. There we go. Come into here. Lift up a little bit. I can feel a lump there. Put the metal there where I want it. Stretch the edge. Exactly the same that we did the other panel. No difference. Bit more pressure. Right there. One thing that you must notice, and I get the camera to come around, I am not going to the reverse. I'll point it out in a minute when the camera is set. Okay, as you can see, I'm stopping here. But again, I stress the point, because I got no pressure, I won't put any lumps. Okay, so now that. If you got pressure on that, you'll destroy it. Okay, have a look. I'm coming in this way. I can still smooth it off. Out of the edges. I'm going to be sideways now because I'm about to enter the return. Okay, now that we got that done, we're going to put some shape on. Okay, you can see how it changes, but I can close that. Now time to put the reverse. But this wheel, unfortunately, I need to try, because I might be able to do it sideways, but I doubt it. So I need to take the pressure right off, and let me check. Yeah, I can do it with this wheel. Okay, I can do it with this wheel. So now, it's a matter of just going in there and follow what you got. Look, I'm not pulling, I'm not pushing, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just following what I create with the blocking hammer. like that. Be very careful of the angle. You need to get under there and have a look, as I'm doing now, because the angle changes and you can really hit that reverse in the wrong way and damage it. But you notice that I'm not yanking it, I'm not wheeling in one spot, I'm not changing the pressure, I am not doing anything that I'm not supposed to be doing. So I'm going to do a little bit more and then check it. Now I'm going to change hands and come from this end. I just want you to watch my action and where my eyes are. Because if you turn it the wrong way, you're going to put a nasty Now of course here we are straight. Remember I mentioned that before, so it's safe and there's no pressure. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit more here and then I'm going to close it and check where I'm at. Have a look where my head is, guys. Down there. I want to see what the angle that I'm using this at. You'll see when you make it that one wrong move, you enter the return the wrong way, and you know, you're just gonna undo all your beautiful work. Now what I want to also do, you'll see me in a minute taking all this out and start again. Okay, let's close it and have a look where we're at. All right, reverse first. I've got to go down there. But before I take it down, I need to see how we go down here. If I take this down too prematurely, it will probably put a lump here. So after I check that, if that's flat, I need to stretch it there to bring it down. If it's hollow, I will bring it down and pop it out. Okay, at that point, that needs to be flat, and it is flat. That's hollow, that's hollow. So it might need a little bit of both. It might need a bit of stretching and a little bit of bending. Okay. I tried to bend it first. I tried to stretch it first. So I put a little bit of pressure there. And by stretching and pulling up, by stretching the edge and pulling up, but again, look, there's no pressure, look. See that? Look. Look. So I stretch it and pull up a bit. That'll drop it. Okay, let's have a look if we dropped it. It's going. See, it's going? It's dropping. Now I check this again. Dead flat. That's what I want. Okay, that means I must keep going the way that I've just been doing. On the edge, stretch the edge, come in a little bit, go into the bulbous like so, change the angle, and stretch it a little bit more. I'll check it again. Okay, it's not going very well, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to bump it up in here. Obviously the wheel is too big for that, so it's very easy done. See where it's hollow there? And high there? Well, if I bump it up here, that'll come up and that'll drop. So we're going to do that right now. We know that this is high, and we know that we got a hollow there. So all I need to do is this. Now we check it again. A little bit more. But at the same token, I'm always going to check that. Make sure that that doesn't bulge out. Because again, if I try to pull that down without stretching it, it's just going to bulge out. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of the same thing. Right there. And I'm going to check it. You can see that without any gauges, well, here we go. Okay, now we are safe for the simple fact is that I've gone too far, but I can lift it. And as you can see here, it likes to put a leg out of bed, if you want to call it. It's too far out here. So I need to lift it a little bit. There we go. And I need to stretch it. I put a bit more pressure, just a touch, just to stretch that edge down. The reason why I'm stretching it is I don't want that, I want that to lay back. I've got the profile, I just want it to lay back, so I'm stretching that. I'll take the pressure off now, and I'm gonna come in here where I just bang it. But I need to look where I'm at, so I'll change position. There we go. Be very careful on the actual blend between the bulbous. take special care between the bulbous and the reversed. Go slowly. And again, I have to check it again. Nearly there, nearly there. You can see, nearly there. A little bit of wheeling here perhaps. Just a bit more wheeling there. All the way. No pressure, gentlemen, no pressure. See that? And of course, check it again. Okay, I need to bend it by hand there. This will go in and that'll pop out. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, let's have a look. Too much. See that? Start to rock now. All that means is the dish is popped out because I bent it, so I need to stretch it some more. See that? Right there. It's popping out too far. So what I might do, I use my wheel and drag some of that material out to the edges and then stretch it again. So in other words, the material here that's making my pattern rock, and I'll check it again. Yep, I'm going to drag it out a little bit. So right angle, must have on the right angle, and just literally pull up a bit. But I got no pressure. So I'm dragging that material out to the edge and then I'll stretch it. See, I'm dragging that material out of the edges, and once I'm into the edge, I tighten up the wheel and stretch the edge. Take the pressure off, go back in there, at the right angle again, lift up against the top wheel, and walk it slowly, 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 to about there. Tighten up the wheel and let it out. Let's have a look what we got now. Okay, as you can see, we came in, but the material that I got rid of there, it's up here. You see that? Look. So there's okay now, I just need to drop that. So, the material that I've dragged out of here, gone into there. That's why this is already up already. So what I need to do is to drop that a little bit by wheeling, and we should be okay. So I'm going to tighten up the wheel and stretch the edge. In other words, let it out. Take the pressure off and come back in this manner into the bulbous, of course. Once you're in the bulbous, you're safe. You need to have patience on this. Okay, let's check it. I'm going to bend it and see what we got. Here we go. Here we go. A touch more there perhaps. Bingo. Okay. Now I want to show you, I'm going to take all these marks out, I can put them back later, but I'm going to show you from here how to fix it smooth. First of all, we look at the inside, and you can see that it's shiny, but there's a couple of marks there. They're all done with a blocking hammer, but there's no big deal. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to clean all this up, both sides, make it dull again with a bit of Scotch-Brite, and then shine up my wheel and follow my track. And by the time I follow all my tracks, I should be pretty good. As mentioned, at this point, I'll show you by turning it that it's not that bad as far as finish is concerned, but it still needs a lot of work. But now we got marks, dirt, fingerprints, lines. It's a little bit hard to determine where it needs to be wheeled. So what I'm doing, I just literally put some thinners in there. Get my fine Scotch-Brite. Okay, now I'm on the inside. Clean it all up. Fine Scotch-Brite, you don't want a fine one. Okay, I Scotch-Brited, you can see that it's dull. You can see a few things there, and a couple there. But now with a clean wheel, there's the inside. With a clean wheel, you'll be able to follow your track one on top of another, and believe me, it'll smooth off perfectly. So, let's clean the wheel and let's get into it. My wheel is clean, and now I see if the cameraman can pick up the tracks. So I get him to go real close to the wheel, and you'll see the tracks on the dull aluminium. I'm just going to show it to you in a minute if you can't see it on the wheel. Yes, I'll finish this run and then I'll show you. Okay, you can see that my tracks are fairly close. It will open up a little bit because of the type of wheel I'm using, but I can close it. As you can see how I stopped here, come into about here and keep going there. Now I'm going to go into the return with the same system. Track them real close together. Put my head around the panel so I can see where the lower anvil is. I'll get the cameraman to have a look my position on the wheel. I stress the point, you need to be really careful, real slow, and watch that lower anvil, or you'll keep being in all sorts of trouble. Well, you don't want to, what I'm trying to say is you don't want to dig into it and ruin all your beautiful work. Just watch my head. I'm looking at that bottom anvil and trying to keep the track as together as I can. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop and check a few things. The track and the shine off the wheel will determine, and the feel of course, will determine how smooth this panel is going to be. You don't wheel here and there and everywhere. You just can't do that. Tracking is extremely important, no matter what other people have said to you. Track, track, and track. And I'll show you in a minute what I really mean by it. Okay, have a look at that, gentlemen. Now I'm going to close it and check it before I do the final finish. Okay, let's see what the patterns tells me to do, how far to bend it, where to bend it, and on and on. So, as I mentioned, I'm wheeling with a fairly wide wheel. Should be a little bit tighter, but then I'm running the risk of putting lines. So this will open, but I know that it's been there before. So, okay, see that? It's open. So what do I do now? I simply close it. Follow me. Okay, let's have a look. A little bit more there, just there. Okay, now this is good enough for the time being because we still got to put on the cart. Now we need to go on 4A, which is here. And as you can see, that's open. I'm on the line there, I can see the line where it used to be. So I'm going to close it. And a touch more. The line was there, yes. So I need to close it there. I need to put that back on the cart to see if these lines change. So let's go to the guard and have a look. All right, let's have a look if this line has changed. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to make sure, remember I mentioned to you this side because you don't want that to move, because if it moves in or out, it will change your position. So I'm gonna put a clamp there to stop it from going forward. Sorry, back or forwards for that matter. So I'm going to put one in there. Just bear with me, I'll tighten it up a little bit. Okay, that will stop me from stopping the mudguard going forward that way. Now, the idea of this is to see where our line has got to. So, I'm here. There. And there. So if I connect these, I just check it. A little bit lower. Yeah. Okay, now what we need to do is to put our gauge from that line. If you remember, this is only an indication. So what we need to do now is to put our 4A a little bit of discrepancy there. Let me check it. Yeah, a little bit through there. It might just needs a bit of wheeling through there. You can clearly see that. We got enough there for the wire. Yeah, a little bit of wheeling through there. Now I need to check. I better put a clamp there actually. Stop it from moving. It's moving on me. Okay. Let's check that again. 4A. Definitely want some shape up the top. You can clearly see it through here, but that's not a big deal. Now I need to check the return, and then most of all, that shape. So I'll just check my reverse, which is here. And again, yeah, that needs a bit of bending, just a little bit. And now, last but not least, knowing that that's where it's turning in, I need to check that. And as you can see, it's a little bit too deep. A little bit too deep. So what I'm going to do, to make sure that I put it on the right spot each time, I'm going to mark it, if I can find a pen, which is right here. I'm going to put that in the right place here. Okay, right there. So I can put that gauge back on the same spot each time. And I just change a few things, but not much. It's actually not too bad. Okay, so I'll do a little bit more wheeling to show you how we're going to fix it. This needs a bit of a bend, that will fix the problem. Aha, I can see it right there. And I'm just going to bend it a little bit there. That'll bring this home, see? It's hard up against there big time. See that? So I'm going to bend it there. That's where the problem is, right there. I'll check it again. I still got the clip here, so this stops me from going in. Just a little bit. Yes. Yes. And yes. What we're going to do is check all these edges through here. There we go. All through there. You can see that it's closed. Don't forget that I still got to bring that in. Now I'll get the wheel arch edge through here. That could do with a little bit of that, but that's only a bit of a bend. Keep in mind that this joggle is not done. So once the joggle is done, that'll settle down. And the next one, this one. Okay, so we're at the point where everything is looking fairly good, but we need to adjust this one, which is down there. Have a look, guys, right there. Can you see where it's rocking? I'll get the camera to look right there, and that's what that's rocking. So if I bring that down, right there, see the rock? If I bring that down, I think we almost home. So I'm gonna do a little bit of wheeling through there and get rid of it. Right there seems to be the problem, so I just drag it out. Okay, this is the point that the profile is touching. What that means is that that metal there needs to be dragged out. So I'm going to do that right now. I got a sharper wheel this time because I don't think it's going to matter much for what I'm going to do. It's very light. Rather than use the wider wheel and then close it again and so on and so on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in there, make sure that I'm at the right angle, okay, and just, I'm going to lift a little bit and drag that out. Here we go, it's almost gone now. I've got no pressure on that, I'm just using the top wheel to drag that out. Okay, let's have a look now. Here's my panel, here's my line. I'll check it again. It needs to come down a little bit. I'll check it with a return here. Well, as you can see, I've got it down. See that? Look at that, I've got it down. It was rocking there before. Now all I need to do is a little bit of wheeling here and fill that in. Here we go, look at that. That is not rocking anymore, look. I just need a little bit of shape through here and we're done. So, back on the wheel. And I'll do a little bit of wheeling here. This is the blend. This is probably a little bit hard to do, but we have to do a little bit at a time. Just play with it. Okay, so that's coming down. Need more shape there. You can see where my head is. I need to concentrate. Okay, let's have a look at it now. Doesn't look bad. Could do a bit more here too. Could do it a little bit more there. So we're gonna do that. That'll also close it. Remember, they need to be closed a little bit. That'll close it because of the way I'm wheeling it. But I got no pressure again. I keep stressing this, and this is very important. So I make sure that we get all of this in. This is done with no pressure and no random wheeling. You need to concentrate exactly where you need to wheel it. you could go backwards from here if you don't do it like you see me doing it now. And wondering what the hell happened. There we go. A little bit more through here. Perhaps I'm going to turn around. Here I can go pretty straight. Turn around here a little bit and keep going. Once you're in the bulbous, you're pretty safe. And just light pressure, close tracks, and as I said before, and I'll say it again, it will come good. The minute you put pressure on this, you'll destroy it. Okay. Okay, back where we were. Check all of this, that's perfect. No, we're still rocking there. Can you see that? We're still rocking there. This is a funny spot. Let me mark it. It's rocking here. I can see that, clearly see it. So I've got to get rid of that. I'll do one more. I'll lift up a little bit harder this time. Got to be careful though. I come from this end. Oops. And now I'm blending it in. Okay. I think we've got him. I'll just check this. And then we're going to put it on the wheel and see if we drop that part. Looks beautiful. Yep. I might do one little one here with the other wheel. Or then again, I won't bother about this until I got the joggle out. I need to raise that and drop the joggle. That's why the panel is a little bit high through here. But I think we're okay. Let's check it. So, first in first. We put that in there, so we're not coming too far out. Okay, so that's there. That's there. Looking good through here. Looking perfect through there. All right, let's check the pattern. Well, there you are. Little bit through there at the end. I'll just check that again. Have a look at that, guys. A little bit here, but I can wheel that in. Have a look at it. I get the camera to go right through it. There's nothing in it. So I'm going to clean it up now and leave it at that. In the next segment, we're going to raise the joggle, drop the joggle, so the whole panel is going to drop in. Now, if I want to, just to show you, okay, this clamp here, I get the cameraman to go down and have a look that it's not clamping the panel, it's only holding the panel from going forward. See it? Look underneath there. It's not clamping, it's just there stopping it from going forward, yeah? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one clamp here. And check it again. There we go.